Yo.
But we don't have an intro song.
Yo.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have anything.
What was our intro song?
Remember we did the...
I don't think it was that.
Are you dumb? It was that.
It was that.
And then... And it was like, what do we get? Let's not talk about that. No, let's go there.
Yeah.
Like the...
What in your head, what was the theme song? I mean, that was a transition.
That was a transition that we didn't even do the entire last season.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
I thought it was like,
We're back.
Woo! And it's been so
Yay.
long that Amber doesn't even know
Yeah.
what the intro song was.
Yeah, I still don't even think that you guys were right.
Amber, we're literally like, how are we synced?
You
Yeah, how
guys
did we
probably
know?
that was like probably like a song from like the album.
Okay. Did you have amnesia like the past 2 years or something?
No,
No,
I was
nothing?
just so traumatized from not having a podcast to work on that maybe I just like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you want to know what I did last week?
What?
What?
Why are you looking at me like that?
I don't know. I'm just anticipating.
Well, then I started thinking about it, like all the stuff I did last week. But no, regarding the podcast, I listened to the last episode that we did.
Like
Oh.
the final.
The final episode of season 2, we'll call
when
it.
we were in New York.
No, we weren't in New York.
We were
here.
definitely here. Yeah,
We were here, and it was a thunderstorm.
Oh, okay.
And it
we
was...
said we'll be
My-
back in a month.
Oh yeah.
No, this is what the funny part. So, you know, I was talking about like, yeah, we're gonna focus on the album. Like, we just wanted to take some time off. We're gonna go meet Saud, aka the Jai Guy, and we're gonna film our second music video there. So after that, we're just gonna try to focus on the album. But we're just gonna be gone for. We're just gonna take a pause. Don't know how long it's gonna be. And then Amber kept like reiterating, it's not gonna be that long though. But it's not gonna be that long.
And
Do
then
you remember this?
Yeah, I really thought we were gonna like come back after a month and pick up because we were like pretty consistent for years.
Yeah.
And then you know what you said after that? We started going into what happened after we took a first season break, and you were like, yeah, like I was really sad about that because it was like a huge transition in my life, and
And I think that break was like 3, 4.
that
5
break was
months?
only a month.
Really?
We mentioned it on the podcast. You said that it was only a month,
Oh.
but you know what was happening during that month?
You were traveling.
We
went
went to
Cali,
go
just
do the Mickey
Texas.
Sing
Yeah.
thing.
Oh,
And yeah,
then
we went to Cali and all of that.
After
And
that.
that's the real reason that like we were like, okay, yeah, all of this stuff happened at once. Amber was moving out of her apartment in Baltimore, and we were doing all that, all the shows and everything. And we
Yeah.
were like, okay, this is gonna be too hard to do the podcast on the road, so let's just take a break.
Yeah.
And then we did come back after a month.
Yeah.
The second time this happened, it's been 2 years.
2 years.
it's literally 2 August ago. 2 August.
2
ago.
August ago. It's been more than 2 years.
Yeah,
So
2 years and 1 month.
But I don't know if you guys got requests, but everyone's been like, people ask like here and there, like, yo, what happened to Strange Flavors?
Yeah,
Is
I
it
heard that. I
coming
was
back?
like Shimmer's podcast sucks. Bring back Strange Flavors.
Yeah, and I was like, dude.
like over and over. Like I
yeah.
got so
I
many,
heard the same thing too.
I got
and
so many
was like,
calls like, yo,
please
Shimmer's
end it.
podcast is whack.
Yeah,
It's
they were
missing
like-
2 key people.
they're like, can you invite Frost and Amber again? I'm like, dude, yeah.
That's
I'm
such a
like, let
good
me do it.
request. I didn't hear that from you though.
Yeah. No, I mean, I hit you up one time. But
No, you didn't.
no, I did. I was like, yo, I'm going to need you for like content for next
Oh.
month. But then I never followed through. But
No, I didn't get those requests. I wish I did.
I mean,
That
I don't think they're
would've hyped me
gonna.
up.
like,
I don't
yo,
think they're gonna
Strange Flavors.
speak negatively to the only content that they were getting from.
Yeah, no,
all of
you
us.
no, you carried all of this on your back.
Yeah.
and you kept it going for.
That
at
wasn't my
least
goal,
your-
but you know, no, I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
you beefed up.
I did?
yeah.
Well, like maybe
You've
I don't know
leveled
about
up.
physically, but
Oh, damn. That was what I was hoping for. No, I'm kidding.
but during that time, okay, let's get into this. So
Yeah,
like,
let's get into
It's
it.
been 2 years.
It's been 2 years. I remember Frost was like, hey, what are you like? Frost asked all of us like, what are we gonna do? And I remember this because I have a clip on my Instagram. So then you asked like, what are you gonna do? And I was like, oh, I'm gonna focus on streaming, making content, doing this, doing that. And then I think I did all that.
You did.
You know, I was
Something
listening
like
to
that.
that part, and honestly, like, I want to say I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
Like, I heard that clip, and that's what you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no joke. you have this board where you have written down goals of like I want to reach 80,000 subscribers. I want to reach. Now you're almost at 100, but that's your next goal.
Yeah.
And you've been crossing that stuff off, which is like amazing. It's inspiring.
Appreciate it.
And yeah, like that's so cool to hear back of where your mind was and the way that you've delivered since then, not only on your Twitch streams, taking advantage and learning the new systems of whether it be YouTube shorts, monetizing, switching up on TikTok and figuring out the game, the algorithms and all of that, and just going with it and being like, I want to be king content.
You've just been doing shit
Yeah.
consistently and constantly.
Yeah.
So
I feel like I'd be
shout out you.
depressed if I didn't. So
Oh, that explains a lot about myself.
what? You've been getting depressed? Well, no, you do a lot, so
Yeah.
that's why you don't.
But in different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was interesting that we were sharing what we're going to be doing
Yeah.
during that time. And I think like what I had shared was going really heavy on the album and just trying to take our Live Theory to another level. Unfortunately, like life,
Yeah.
when it wants to happen, not unfortunately, I'll say fortunately, when life happens, it happens. And like, especially at that moment and during right now, I think we leveled up so much that a video, a song, an entire project, whatever it may be,
Yeah.
it became such a like huge effort to pull off because
Yeah.
we've been doing this with our own boots in the ground and doing a lot of heavy lifting in any way we can to pull off
Money
these
and
insane
effort.
visions and quality
Yeah.
since then. And so with that, it's like you have to dedicate a lot to
Yeah.
it. I think one way that you and I are a bit different as artists or creators or whatever is that for me, like I think it's hard for me to settle with without an entire like plan and vision of an end product, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I think we've kind of shared this before, but when it comes to like content creation, I don't like love that
Yeah.
idea. Even if it's to support my other visions as an artist. And that's what you're great at, because you're like, if I want to make a song or if I want to make a concept in this way,
Yeah.
I'll do it, but I'm going to continue to be a full-time creator. And
Yeah.
and I love that. Like that's something you're able to pull off.
Yeah. I think for me, it just made sense to like, if I want to create for a living, like I have to exercise creation. Like I have to, if I'm going to do like legs, right? I'm still in the gym.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to like do biceps and triceps. I'm not going to give up
Yeah.
that stuff.
Mm.
So for me, that's how I view it. I'm like, okay, I still have to exercise the act of creation, having an idea, executing on it.
But I think that the difference that I have observed between the two of you is that I think, Frost, you work from the big picture backwards. Like you have like this like grand picture, and then like you work towards that and everything. You have to have all your ducks in a row, and it ends up being a beautiful project. And then on the other hand, Shamir, you have like little mini projects that can be standalone. You have different series. You can make one, you can make 50.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be revisited, or you could revisit a bunch.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way that you differ as creatives. But the reason why I feel like it works so well in Ronald Ponal was because you guys like balance each other out. I mean, Ronald Ponal.
Ronald Ponal.
Did I forget how to say it? It's been so long.
You got to roll the.
Ronald Ponal. There's no R there.
I think none of us know how to say it
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the world.
Raul Bindi.
Yeah.
But you were saying?
I was saying that like in Ronald Ponal, I feel like it worked out really well because it balanced each other out. Like it doesn't always have to be the biggest picture. It doesn't always have to be the little things. And then it came to be like this beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, how did you guys feel that we were on the hiatus? As obviously everybody is still doing things, but being on a hiatus for 2 years from us being a group, how did you guys feel?
From my perspective, I wasn't expecting it. It just happened. Because I was you said, I was expecting like a month, and then we get back on it. But I guess it just didn't happen that way. And I think we're all just waiting on each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess some of us had to wait longer. And then when someone was ready, then someone was not ready, I feel like. And it just rotated out of there. And I think life hit us all in different ways.
Yeah.
For me personally, like life hit me, so that's why I kind of went harder,
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, dude, I have to do something with this, otherwise I won't be able to do anything at all.
We started when we were like 21 or 22.
Yeah,
We're in our late 20s now.
yeah, we can't be
Officially.
doing this shit like for free and stuff like that.
We
know?
were spending so much time because we had so much time and no responsibility.
Yeah,
It's
Well,
just
also,
not
like,
the same game.
That's the way that we were pulling that kind of stuff off. It's not sustainable
Mhm.
because I remember since college, like meeting you guys. I mean, the drive alone to each other's houses is a lot, but on top of that, it was like since then I remember just being like going to, you know, shifts, waiting tables, and at like 5 a.m, and then just from there, like you'd be like sleeping on the couch. Sometimes you guys would come in and like
yeah,
I'd serve you guys, but then right after that, it was like I take the apron off and we're booking it to some show or some video or whatever
Yeah.
else. And on top of that, with college, trying to finish that, and then taking on all these jobs on the side when it comes to freelancing, and you know, trying to make a career as like a professional paid artist also.
yeah,
All of that, like, it adds up, and although you're able to sustain yourself, basically like the last 2 years or whatever, like there's been a ton more responsibilities and stuff. I can say,
Mhm.
like, you know, amongst all of us, that we have to take care of other people too, and look out for and prioritize, you know, other people's schedules as well. And it can't be as like run and gun the same way anymore.
yeah,
Mhm.
A lot has to be considered to make things work, and fulfill all obligations while taking care of your physical, mental, and spiritual health.
yeah, 100%. And I think also we were all like kind of expecting like, okay, we do this until like we somehow blow up out of nowhere, and then
Yeah.
money comes in out of nowhere. That was my thought for some reason.
Mhm.
That's what just
And
how I felt.
honestly, like, why not?
Why
Like,
not?
why
Yeah.
didn't it happen?
Yeah,
Because the thing is, I think this now still is just that when I look at ideas and concepts and an entire effort put into certain things, it's like, yes, only we know the effort behind the scenes, but
Yeah.
other people who recognize it and pick, like, every little thing is thought out, of every line in something, every kind of you know, shot, every character building and continuation of, like, because what are we inspired by is um like proper films, proper music albums, and like we really are fans of that stuff. And I think that's my beef with the whole content creation game sometimes,
Yeah.
is that creating content for the sake of creating content, although I love, you know, all these kids who are able to, like, because that's how we started out, just imitate and try to do something and put it
Yeah.
out in a low effort and just kind of like do the thing. It's sometimes, I guess for me at least, it's just like, damn, like it's so quick and easy to do certain things,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but for me, like, a reputation and all of that adds up eventually down the line,
Yeah.
of like, what did you produce? What's the playback value? What's your personal mission and goal, and what legacy you're leaving behind? Like, sometimes it is, you know, we're having fun, we're joking around, whatever else, but sometimes
Mhm.
it is like a deeper question that when you're by yourself or when you're talking to other people who you look up to, and
Yeah.
have these conversations of how serious you might be as an artist or what have you, it's like that stuff does matter to me.
I think just to kind of pivot from that a little bit, like the era that we kind of blew up in was not the TikTok era.
Yeah.
And we weren't the first ones to do brown comedy. We weren't
No.
Yeah.
we weren't the first ones to be like doing a lot of things. And I feel like when I look at who the biggest people are on platforms, it's who's doing it first. We were doing it better than some people who blew
Yeah.
up.
Also, to be fair, I was doing it first when I first started in my head. meaning like
For sure.
you don't know that other people exist yet. Like still, there's a ton of people that don't know we exist, right?
100%.
So they don't know what we've done, and I would say most people like who are big or whatever, they probably don't know.
I feel like we could have been the first of the TikTok era, but like it was the pandemic and we weren't even together at that time.
Yeah.
So I think it's really just a matter of like timing, and like if I think about it sometimes, I'm like, the energy that we had when we were creating the brown codes of it all, we were like, what, 22, 23, 24?
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been a hit on TikTok.
Yeah, 100%.
You know?
And like it could have been a whole series, whatever. And I think we just blew up in like you said, like a different time where it was less monetizable. I think if we, I think most of that I'm like learning the past 2 years is like how to monetize this stuff, so that if we do ever come back, I get to like use my tools and learn, because you have to, all of this is a business. And I think we did go art first, which is like amazing too. And we still can.
It's just not sustainable.
Yeah, it's not sustainable. So you learn.
There's beauty in that though.
Yeah.
It's like, at least we're not sellouts.
Yeah, we didn't sell out. We sold some merch, like a few T-shirts. Like,
but they were
solid. Fire. We put a lot of thought into it. Frost did all the designing.
Those were good designs.
Yeah, so
and creative as hell.
It's hard for me to go to think in a business way when it's like, I think you need somebody for that. And I, like right now, I'm not trying to like bash anybody who's doing it, has done it well with the climate of social media and all of that right now. I think a lot of people have taken great advantage of it, but I'm just trying to speak about like what other kind of thoughts we had going into and some of the struggles that we faced along the way of like it's a weird kind of dance you do with integrity, like artistic integrity, selling out, like you said, and playing the game for like possibly owning something and making something sustainable down the line to then take control of how you may want to do it.
Yeah.
It's a tough thing, but I think that's what's nice about having like, different perspectives is because at least if we're going to do it that way, we can give our perspective. And that's what I'm really happy about, is like, although there was other people in our realm, we were coming from a place of not just Pakistani American, but like also different parts of Pakistan and different like nuances of our own subcultures. And then our kind of faith-based experiences, and members of our actual communities who are who have been made into like caricatures of those actual personalities that they have, because often we would get those questions like, how did you think of this? How did you? And it's like a lot of times it was like I saw something like this in my real life, or I experienced something like this in my real life, and I wanted to bring it to a consumable sort of platform.
Yeah. I think one of the things that the hiatus did was, I think around the 4th month of us not coming back, I was like, I need a job. I need to do something. I'm like this. I can't just wait. Not in a mean way. I couldn't wait, and I was like, I really thought I was gonna come back from Pakistan, and I would just go, right back into it with y'all, and somehow, some way, I would make money. And I was always making money on the side somehow.
Yeah, you were always hustling, so I don't know what you're talking about.
But like at the same time, I was like babysitting or something. Yeah. And it wasn't long term. Or I was nannying, and before that I was working at the school.
So this time is different. You were like looking for like a full job.
It was just something I needed to like put my energy into something, because I was unsure of what the future held. And I was like, I can't keep waiting to see what the next step is. So it kind of forced me to figure out, well, shit, I never thought about the type of job that I would want to do if this wasn't to work out. And so I went into, and I was like, I like people, and what can I do? Okay, my strength is my personality. I guess I have a business degree. I guess I'll do business development. And then I just like went into that, and then I hated it. And I was like, how do I do this without doing sales? And I fell into customer success. And like throughout this process, being forced to be in a place where I never thought I would be, I think it helped me realize my strengths and in the ways that I was, because sometimes I would question in our dynamic, what am I bringing? You know, Frost and Shamir bring the ideas. Sometimes like, what am I bringing to the table? How can I capitalize off of what I bring? And I was like, the whole time and everything that I've gotten praise for at work has always been developing on ideas. Like the idea is set, I'm just helping further it. And that's, I told you last week, I was like, I got a promotion recently for that exact thing, having like creative strategies. And I fell in love with creative strategies, you know? And
that was your role with us too, though, and still continues to be, is whenever there's an idea, you do further it in a way that's like, I know somebody or a way that we can make this thing work.
She makes it like practical. Like sometimes when we bounce ideas, we're like, oh, what if we do this? What if we do this? And we don't always think like who has this or who's doing what. And she always comes up with like
resources, networking
like,
things.
My friend has a limo. My friend has a house. My friend has a whole bar.
But all that is strategy.
Yeah.
Even right now, we're in your house and converted this room into a podcast studio because you presented that idea.
Yeah. And that's what I was like, I questioned sometimes within our dynamic, what am I bringing to the table? And it took for me to be in a different environment.
Your gender.
And it took for
Women.
me to be in a different environment to actually be like, wait, maybe it is worth something.
Yeah. So you weren't useless.
I wasn't useless, but I was sad. And I'm not happy.
You didn't know the answer, even though the answer was there the whole time.
Yeah, for sure. And I think in some ways we had a lot of topics around it, like Amber, what is your thing? And I was like, I don't know.
Well, I think a lot of it, you were questioning that too. Like you were questioning us, like, hey, what's like, you know, my role and stuff. And I guess we didn't know how to answer. You didn't know how to answer.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was kind of like a maybe on both sides, but I was also very comfortable
doing
showing
whatever.
up and just doing what needed to be what needed to get done.
And I think
showing up, it's
the most part.
it's cliche, but like it's literally the biggest part.
Yeah.
Because you can always learn on the spot. You can always like manage. You could do different things. But if you're not there in the first place, people who aren't there that know more or better, like it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, they're not here.
Yeah.
I think that goes hand in hand with executing.
Yeah.
Because
100%.
when it comes to like parties and stuff, you guys know I host a lot of parties, or I attempt to. And when we do that, they're like, oh, you like planning. I'm like, no, I don't like planning. I like executing.
Yeah.
The camera just flickered. That's
The
what
camera.
I was like.
The clamor. The camera. Oh my gosh.
The clamor.
The clamor
Amber was waiting
for me to mess
for
up.
Shamir to
Oh my
say one
gosh.
of his little
Mess ups.
Little
jargon.
Verbal mess ups. Nah.
Yeah.
I think it's funny. Speaking of showing up, I think I remember in the beginning, I think there was a lot of I guess, I don't know, heat or whatever for me, like joining or like making stuff with you, right? Like people would make jokes like, yo, replaced, stuff like that. But
Who was replaced? What do you mean?
no, you remember in the beginning, like I would start making videos with you, like everybody from the crew, they'd be like, yo, like what is he doing? Why are you making videos with him and not us? And stuff like that.
Okay.
Do you remember that? I don't know.
Well,
think it was
not
more
like
like
them, but like the audience maybe. Or
Audience.
Like,
I don't
or
know.
like people
I
that
don't
were
know who
like
said that.
outside the friend
Outside
group.
their
questioning
friend
what you were bringing.
Yeah.
And why you.
Like our crew, they like
Yeah.
We
They,
understood.
But like I think outside jokes were being made or whatever.
Yeah.
But like I was like, and you would tell me sometimes like, yo, or like someone would make a joke or whatever, and I was like, oh, but I'm still showing up. Like none of the that stuff mattered to me because I was just like, oh, I just like making.
Yeah.
I just like doing. So like I'm down with it. If everyone's cool with me like making stuff with you guys, then like that's all that matters. So
And I think that was really important for me at the time because it was like that exact sort of sentiment was that I didn't care what anybody else thought because it was like you don't help me in my productions. You've never been a part of any of my productions, and I, as funny and as unserious as some of them may seem, it's very serious behind the scenes of like what the vision and the goal is.
yeah.
And yeah, like when we do these things, like people are not sleeping, people are suffering in whatever weather conditions they are, or like, you know, holding up arms for hours or whatever else it might be to help with equipment, cameras, whatever, reshooting until it's like until it's good. And like people don't know what it takes.
Yeah,
and then
100%.
and then once we get the results, it's like, oh yeah, like you've been, you know, I knew from the start. No, you didn't. No, you did not. Shamir did.
Yeah.
God did.
God did.
I wasn't calling you God, but
Damn.
I just wanted.
Well, we're just clarifying.
Yeah.
Some people might have thought, you know. For anyone confused.
Yes.
I wasn't confused.
Okay, good.
Yeah, neither was I.
You weren't confused?
No.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
No one else was confused, but just in case the audience was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because people call themselves, you know, it's like, yo, like,
One of your
we all got God and not like.
Oh, okay. One of your favorite radio hosts calls himself.
Yeah, Charlemagne the
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
What do you think
Drake
about that?
came at him.
No, we don't have to go there.
No, we don't have to go there, but that was the point. It's just like some people put that in their names, and it's just like, yeah, it's like, take it easy.
But yeah, I mean, like, you know, us working together, I think we all bring like a unique perspective, and I think like Frost has these big visions and stuff like that, and I think when I joined, I remember like our output was insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember he'd probably upload like a video once a year, I think before that, and then I think once we started working together, I think we both kind of like pushed each other, and then I think we uploaded like 8-9 videos that year, like back to back sometimes.
Well, that's what you're really good at, like actually kind of coming up with like a output system, I guess.
Yeah, like, and hey, like we can do this, and then week after we can do this.
Yeah.
And I think in your mind, it makes sense for you because maybe it's like too much to think that much.
Well, for me, like, and Amber is really good of just being on board and being like, let's do it.
Yeah.
And like sometimes I share certain ideas, and I'm like, there's no way that anybody's gonna like this. And I think I've shared this before, but like sometimes I'm really surprised that you guys are like, okay, like, let's do it.
Sometimes I don't understand what you're doing, but I trust you enough to know that even though I haven't comprehended what your vision is, that it's a good vision.
Yeah. Like for example, when we were in your apartment, and I was like, I'm gonna present them this butt chin idea.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it's an absolute joke, right?
Yeah.
And then when I shared it, you guys were like, oh, okay, yeah, that's good. I was like, you get it? Like it makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
But it makes sense once you put it into like the world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And well, my thought process with anything is if someone's like loves their idea so much, we can make it good. No matter how bad the idea is, I think we can execute it so good that we can make it good. So like that's why I never say no. I'm always like, yeah, let's do it, but how are we going to do it? Let's make it good. And I think Amber's the same way like that.
And my process, like this is definitely a kind of one of those things that like holds back a lot of output, is that like, because I'm not I've always had like a funny kind of relationship with business aspect, and just kind of like, I guess, public
perception.
Not even, it's like almost like consumption of it, because it's like I create a lot. That's what's crazy, is that like I have so many ideas, songs, pieces of different art, images, designs.
The world's just not privileged enough to see it.
No.
It's just too precious. I'm just kidding. Whoa.
Dang. He spoke too much where it just fell off. No.
I don't know how that fell off. You can hear me though, right?
Yeah.
It's probably my fault. I put it together.
Yeah, I just like, I don't feel the need a lot of times to put the ideas out.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. And I just like don't care to sometimes, because I'm like, the idea's done.
Yeah.
On to the next one. Like I guess I get like bored of it, or I'm just like, I've made it, I've created it, and sometimes putting it out in the world isn't like a big thing to me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know why that is. Maybe I have to like think about that deeper. But
I resonate with that too, because like I make so much content, but that's like not my art, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I treat my content as like my business. Like I treat it as like, if I were to have a cookie shop, a pizza shop, like it'd be the same thing. You'd be like, oh, you're just working on your business. Like
that's so interesting.
Yeah, because I make, it's not like I don't make art. I make art all the time on the side, but I don't release it, or I don't have a strategy to release it. So how am I going to release it, right? So for me, it's just like a business thing.
That makes a lot of sense, because you use not saying an excuse like in that way, but like you find reasons, I should say, instead of finding excuses, finding reasons to put things out. So you have like all these things like on your stream, how somebody has to like redeem it and then it's a song and now you have a topic for a song because you have like something to focus on.
Yeah.
So I guess in that way, it's interesting how you look for almost reasons to create it and then you just be running with it.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like a business. You're like,
Yeah.
idea, edit, post.
Yeah.
The thing that you just said that really sticks out is that you don't have a way to
Present it. Or like I don't have an idea of how to present it, because like there's so many like songs like I'll make, but I'm just like, how does this fit in, or like how do I do this?
That's a big thing.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, if I don't have like a video concept for it, or if I don't have like that, I feel like I wouldn't do it justice. The song, or I wouldn't do
because it's like you can put out something like a song, like just a single, right? And yeah, it can stand alone.
Yeah,
but I guess sometimes when you start like really thinking about it and being like, oh, this would fit in to this with these other songs.
Yeah.
And then those songs aren't done yet, or they're just somewhere in the world, but they're not, recorded or whatever else. And then it would make this type of an album, and the album would be conceptualized this way. Then it's like, then that one song that's already done and whatever else, it's just like, it's fine.
I mean, like I can confirm that because like when I showed you all the beats, right? There was no like, I didn't know how to create the beats. I didn't know what I would do with it. I just made it and it's like hidden.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to present it.
Yeah.
And then I showed him to Frost, and he kind of conceptualized it, and he like put it into a presentation.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
and that's what it was for me in the opposite way, where it was like, we had talked about an idea.
Yeah.
When I first, I think, like told you about an album, a Ronopono original album with Amrikistan. Like it was already, the concept was there.
Yeah.
And then the actual, like the bun was there, the lettuce was there, the tomato was there.
Yeah.
The beef was not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And even all the song titles were already there.
Yeah, we're already
But there was no, there was no beef.
Yeah.
And then when she showed me those beats, I was like, it was easy to insert it and complete that concept.
Yeah.
And I think that like, and the way that even we're talking about these ideas right now, right? It's like, maybe it bores some people, but that's just like,
yeah, I'm getting kind of bored.
I think it's important to understand like that we wouldn't be doing ourselves justice. We wouldn't be doing the concepts that you guys like and enjoy justice by trying to prioritize the production aspect without like the rest of the concepts and the way to put them out and everything like that.
Yeah.
And for a while it was just kind of like, if you're taking that long to do something and then there's also not any sort of monetization going on with it, then you get backed into a corner where then you have to choose, either I'm going to go down the content creation lane and I'm going to use my skills in a business sense and still be able to take advantage of, my thought process and the things that I enjoy. Or you go the other way where you're like, okay, I'm going to prioritize the money and try to basically fund the time it takes me to come up with the ideas that I believe in.
Yeah.
And I think that like we are all understanding of that more than like, at least like I'll speak for me, like compared to what other people might go through or have heard stories of. It's just like the understanding is just so big from both of you of these processes and stuff. What?
I want to talk about the beef.
The beef?
Yeah, a lot of people thought that we weren't friends anymore.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought that we just straight up didn't mess with each other.
Or they thought it was just
Really?
like a business relationship.
Yeah,
They're like, oh, do you guys not do stuff anymore because it was like a business relationship? I'm like, oh, I don't know. That's interesting.
You
No.
know, like a lot of people would ask me, like, "Oh, like, are you not friends with them anymore? Well, like, what happened?" And I'm like, "Nah, we're friends.
Yeah.
Like, that never stopped." So if I post you guys like on my story, I like get like a shit ton of like from those people specifically because they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, look, they don't hate each other."
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, there was never any hate.
Well, when we have this podcast and other things going on, it's a great excuse for meeting up, doing the work, and then also getting to hang out with my friends.
That's true.
Yeah.
And when that's not there, like I said, we live far apart and kind of have different worlds.
Yeah.
That makes it difficult to just on a whim just be like, yo, what are you up to? Let me come over. It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
you're not about to just hop in and be like, just casually drive an hour and a half.
Yeah. But I mean, that's not even it. I feel like there was also like a meeting we kind of had, and that didn't go the way that none of us planned.
That's true.
And I think that kind of like changed things. It was like, oh, okay, everyone's head is in somewhere else, and I think that also slowed things down too. And then
That's a good point. I
Yeah.
kind of forgot about that meeting purposefully.
yeah,
I think that was the first time that I realized that we weren't on the same page because I really just felt like it was we're just not meeting up because it's not working out.
or we have like, some people are taking care of family or whatever.
Whatever the
Yeah.
situation is, we all have our own priorities and we're unable to do so. And then I think that one meeting that we had kind of, I guess, gave us a little bit of perspective.
Yeah,
And then I was like, wait, okay. So was everybody right? There is beef, but I think it was more of a misunderstanding than beef.
yeah. And I don't think, from my perspective, I never thought like we ended or anything. I
No.
was just like, oh, we're
We're
gonna
just-
come back when we're all ready.
We're still on hiatus.
Yeah, yeah. And anybody like people come in my streams like, yo, what happened to Ronopono? What happened to Strange Flavors? I'll be like, oh, we're just taking a break.
Yeah.
And so like, and they're like, what's going on with the album? And I'm like, honestly, I have no idea. Like, I'll tell them straight up, I have no idea, because I don't think any of us do.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, I think like when
There is no strategy.
yeah, there's no.
I think from my perspective, no matter what it's been in life, I always want to make sure that the people that are part of the thing that I'm doing are on the same page. And then maybe you owe it to the people who consume your content afterwards, but they just don't know your life. And I think the separation between the artist and the art is, a big thing. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
what the stuff, and like when these hiatuses happen too, like I don't post a lot on social media to begin with, but like when I do, it's kind of like either I'm just really feeling like just putting something out there on like a random kind of vibe, where it's just like it'll truly just be random. Like I'm just posting, I don't even think about it, whatever. Or it'll be like, oh, this is to promote some sort of idea about something.
Frost, there was a time where you didn't post on social media during this hiatus for like a year.
Yeah, because that wasn't my priority. It was
Yeah.
like, and nothing was wrong. Like like people in my life, family, everything, like friends, whatever. Like I saw them, everything was like rolling and stuff. But I didn't like. I needed that separation, and still like that's a battle every day of like, why do people need to know what I'm doing, or how do I present myself to? Because this is, you got to think about it. This is the world. This is random people. This is people who, if you ever look at the insights, I don't know if you guys ever look at that of like how many things get forwarded to each other and stuff. And it's just like, I wonder what purpose I serve in my digital existence.
Oh my God, that must be exhausting. I'd just be
funny.
doing
Well,
shit.
that's why I don't post.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then I don't
right.
have to think about it in that
Yeah.
way.
No,
and I
but-
don't every time, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like when
yeah.
I do post randomly, it's just like whatever. A lot of times, like on TikTok, for example, it'll be something random where I'm just like, why did I post that?
Yeah.
And it was just like, I don't even remember posting it because it was just like some random thought.
Mhm.
And I just happened to record it. And it was like, let me see what happens with this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think like I kind of knew that. I'm like, oh, he just doesn't post on social media. But like there's a few instances where people would just come to me like, yo, is he okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so then I'm like, oh, should I be worried? Like, okay, should I like hit him up? Like, yo,
Yeah.
are you okay? Because like in my head, I'm like, oh, he's chilling. He's probably having the time of his life. Like, but I'm like, okay, maybe I should check up or whatever. And then you told me like, oh yeah, like I'm fine, and they should probably hit me up. And I was like, oh, but they did, but I don't know. So
I feel like also I feel like we have a general idea of each other and then act accordingly.
yeah,
Like if I'm seeing you post, I'm assuming you're okay. Because you be posting, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, for us it's not posting, it's fine. And then eventually I'm like, it makes more sense that he will figure it out and come back as opposed for me to pry. So if something's not okay, that makes me sound like a terrible friend.
Yeah, you are.
That sounds really bad.
Also, it could be the
Wow.
total opposite. Like Shamir can be posting every single day, and he could not be okay.
No,
Yeah.
for sure.
and then there's times I wasn't, but
Yeah.
I'll still be doing.
You still be doing it.
Yeah,
So you're a terrible friend on both
And then you're
instances.
I know.
Like,
No, really.
Total lack
I guess
of
because
awareness.
there was like not even lack of awareness. I think it was
I'm just kidding.
no.
Because
But
you do check up.
yeah, you check up
Regardless.
a lot. which
I
is good.
do. But I think that in a way, in our business relationship, an emotional aspect was forced upon me to be taken out of it because I care a lot. And so once that was like, I guess in a way there were certain things that were just like non-discussable because it was business. Like if we were just friends, I feel like we would go into a lot more shit. Like we'd just be like, oh yeah, like this is how I feel and this is how I do and da 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 da.
Yeah,
But because we were always prioritizing the work, it was almost like that humanistic aspect was removed from our dynamic. And it was very like, okay, cool. Like we get together, we do these things, and that is our friendship. And I was fulfilled from that alone.
yeah.
But then
same.
when you remove us meeting up and I'm no longer visually seeing you guys, I'm still having that removed emotional aspect where I'm like, don't bring that in here.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because we have, it was always about the work at some point. But I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, a little bit. I think there was a lot of progress made to try to balance that, especially over the years. And just having people come in and out also of like, 3 of us, but then also like other people who are helping out, whatever. And I think that those times really helps us kind of see clearer of like who we are, how we work, and I think we're on the same page even more so whenever something like that happens, because we know that like the ways that we work that could be improved, but also like things that we are definitely not wanting to go down either a repeated kind of
Pattern.
process or pattern,
yeah,
or just like being able to laugh it off and be like, these aren't real concerns because we are bigger than
That's true.
yeah.
I've
more
seen
progressed,
that. I've seen that when
more
we brought
grown.
like different people into the mix, and then we're like, wait, we don't do that.
Yeah.
We're just gonna keep it moving.
It's like a maturity,
100%.
and sometimes, like I said, we can learn from it too, and even sharpen these swords further. But
Yeah.
like
Before we continue, I just want to say it is 9:50.
yeah,
But I feel like
shit.
we should continue. It's a great conversation, and I think a lot of people would benefit. And I think it's very genuine.
Yeah.
I think it's a genuine conversation
Yeah.
of like where our heads are at, where we've been, kind of.
My travel's only one door
debated.
down, so
What?
I said my travel's only one door down.
So you're
So-
good to go.
I'm good to go. It's
I'm
on
good to go
y'all.
too.
We were debating whether this should be like a first episode or not,
Or
but
like
I
a
think
Patreon,
like
I
yeah,
think it's really good.
yeah, I think it's a good like
I think it shows where we're at. Like,
yeah.
because when we decided, like in talks, I think no one was sure if we were all down, and then we were all like, "Yeah, let's do it." And we kind of brought this together nonchalantly, even though it's $2,000 investment.
Yeah, nonchalantly, but we've been meeting up for like 3 months.
Yeah, we've been meeting up for 3 months very slowly, and we've got a lot of equipment, right? You would say about
We had to rebuy
yeah,
equipment.
Everything.
yeah. So
And it's a good we were basically like talking about like seeing if we're all in it in that same way.
Yeah.
And
and we're in it in the same way, but also differently. For
differently,
me,
yeah.
For me, at least, I like I think we've talked about like how can we take this further, like what can we do with it? And for me, I definitely think we should think about monetization for this.
Yeah,
because
for
it just
sure.
it just doesn't make sense. Like I was like, I don't know, like
It
if,
doesn't make sense either.
yeah, like if bars, but yeah, it's like yeah, it's if I feel like we just can't like mess around anymore.
Yeah.
Like we can mess around.
I think we should mess around, like on the mic.
I think we
Yeah,
should change
yeah.
our name.
Oh, God.
Oh yeah, Amber wanted to change her name.
Amber didn't want to be Strange Flavors anymore.
I didn't. And I'm going to say it proudly. I don't care if that's what we're here and being.
we're also down for it. Frost and I are down for changing the name. We just said, hey, bring like us a name.
And I told you, I don't bring the ideas. I just build on
Bring
them.
us the name.
Yeah, bring the men a name.
Yeah.
Men
What-
bring in
present
the
it to
Can we do
us.
names.
men flavors?
You guys bring
Alpha
the
male.
house. I'll make it a home.
Alpha male podcast.
Yeah.
Yo.
That's in right now. That's the
Yeah.
trend.
An alpha male podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, like the Andrew Tates of them all?
yeah.
I think that was last year.
No, it's
Yeah,
like it's on
still
the
going,
rise
yeah.
actually.
It's coming
Really?
back, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What are you
Alpha
driving
male
these
Muslims.
days?
Alpha male Muslims is crazy.
That
Yeah.
exists too.
I feel like every episode we should just be like mocking what we think that type of episode would be.
I think that it's really symbolic to not change the name at the moment because I feel like it represents the phase that we're in. If you're watching on YouTube, like one of these foam things are off of
Yeah.
the background now, and also they're all yellow
Yeah, it's
because
Wait, they were
Amber's
white.
dusty ass, dirty ass, nasty ass
Let's be for real.
room.
It was actually reflecting your energy.
but we
What?
weren't even here.
Yellow?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it went from being like
Wasn't yellow your favorite
it went
color?
from like light and airy to just crusty, dusty, musty, and dark.
Yeah. We should have added like cobwebs and shit, like,
Oh yeah.
just be like, yo,
Played
we
it as
haven't been in here. Yeah. No, Halloween.
Episode. Never mind.
But look. The staying in like the same place right now
Yeah.
and rebuilding from the top, like we had to be a little stingy on this. Like before we were dropping like, what do you need? Like a camera switcher, a couple of monitors, like
Yeah.
we got it in
We
the
got
bank.
it. Yeah, we got
We
it.
got it.
I
And
got
then
you.
now we're like, yeah, I had to basically be like, yo, we got to get 3 cameras because we got to at least pick up where we were. And you guys were like 2 cameras.
Two cameras. Yo, our budget's low. Like, we
Then I had to play my my cheapskate card a little bit, and I basically got one of these cameras for free.
No, you
If
didn't.
you think basically because the total price, they're $500 each.
yeah.
500, 1,000, 1,500. I
1,500.
got 2 for 400 or a little bit less,
Whoa. Don't
you had to
tell
do
them.
some extra stuff with the people
Yeah.
who bring up yet. Yeah.
and then one of them for 300. But I got the tripods basically for $5
Wow.
and other deals. Okay, so a lot of
Don't make it sound like everything was
negotiating
that
going on.
cheap. There's a lot of money invested. Yeah.
Yeah, we
saved-
spent 600 or 500, right?
I know, but I'm just saying I was.
You're saying you saved us
I
some money.
I put on my boxing gloves. I got in eBay. I got in
Yeah.
the eBay ring. I got in the Facebook Marketplace ring.
Yeah.
And I was knocking hoes out.
Ooh.
That's all I'm saying.
Can we change the podcast name?
To-
Look, like I said, I'm down if anybody in the comments
okay.
wants like
let's talk about how Amber had one idea
I did.
and like nothing else, right? She keeps saying, I want to change the podcast name. I want to change the podcast name.
yeah.
And then she had one idea and it was something like Chai.
Jive
And literally
Was it?
every Desi podcast is like, oh, Chai podcast.
Chai podcast.
Chai-
No.
and no diss, but diss.
Diss.
Like, that's it.
You want to be a brown? Should we be a brown like podcast?
To be fair, I had said I want a different podcast name, and you brought up that Jai. You always wanted to consider something with Jai or
no,
whatever.
all I said,
I
this is what I
never.
said. This
I've
is what I
always
said.
thought
Damn,
that
the
Jai.
blame's on you.
Yeah, I've always thought
I
that
said we
Jai
could
was
drink
kind of
Jai
tacky.
during it.
I just ran with the fact that you gave me permission with Jai, and I just plugged into AI and sent y'all shit.
It's your fault.
But like I know that you guys think that certain things are corny, so I wouldn't have presented Jai to begin with.
And we're not drinking chai right now. It's messed up.
We do have Ruafsa though.
We do have rubs though, which we'll get to
In
in
a
a minute.
can.
You okay?
Yeah, just the way you said it. I love when you get like really nerdy.
Like animated.
Like you're like,
we do.
It's like you're the
And we do have it.
no, wait a minute. Like I love that.
Appreciate it.
I'm serious. It's not like I'm not trying to make fun of you.
It's messed up. This is messed up.
Because my brother does stuff like that
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
time, and
messed
like
up.
I just find him adorable.
This is what I have
when he
to
does
deal
stuff
with,
like
guys.
that.
This is what I can't
You're
be
being
normal.
praised.
He was like, no, we'll get to that.
I don't know if it's praise though. You know, it's like half.
I know, but like my only way of
No,
showing
yeah,
real
I know.
love is like just roasting the shit out of you,
I
and
know.
that wasn't even a roast.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was like I just loved it. So like, I like
appreciate-
stuff like
I
that.
appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Like I'm friends with you guys.
Are you, really?
Really?
Yeah.
You like us?
Like I'm not over here like with alpha males.
Alpha. Damn, we can't change the name then.
Shamir is an alpha male.
Yeah.
He's-
I'm not.
What?
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 Damn. I thought it
don't-
was.
I have a deeper voice than both of y'all,
Damn.
according to your
So
sound friend.
yeah, I think your tone overall is actually lower.
Yeah.
Like it registers lower.
We saw it
on-
in the frequencies.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We have to, you know.
So then is a deep voice really like a low voice, or it just
I don't
depends
know.
on the frequency?
Hmm.
Anyways. How you guys
Anyways,
doing?
we're not changing. We're not changing the name right now. Like, give us feedback, people. One, give us feedback on like if you would want. I think this is my idea. I think that like once we have shifted, I know Amber's thought process is like, oh, like we're starting. Oh, it's like a spiritual thing almost. It's like you know how they do the astrology and like
Spiritual
it's
awakening.
what do they call it? Like my moon.
My moons have
sign,
changed.
Like
They're in circadian rhythm.
Okay.
my Mercury.
They're in retrograde.
To be for real,
Oh my God.
Faraz had this podcast with other people prior to
There it
bringing
is.
Shamir
He was a
and I.
jealousy.
He was a podcast slut.
Always
That's
jealousy.
what
He's
Amber
a
said.
podcast
He's a
slut.
podcast host slut.
And then me and Shamir were dragged in.
No, go on.
Relax. We wanted to be on the podcast.
I know. Oh, in fact,
I
you were
quote.
like,
I quote. I've been waiting for you to ask.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
were
Amber.
waiting for you to ask.
Quote by Amber.
But at the same time, like the
If
structure
anybody,
was
Shamir was
existed.
the slut because he just slid in episodes prior to actually being
What do
a
you mean
co-host.
slid it? You asked me. I was like, all right, I'm down to help.
Yeah, but like, we should watch that episode back because you were like a little too excited.
Of course.
Like,
Why
chill
not?
out, dude.
I should be that excited
Yeah, you should.
for strange flavors.
But you were also doing like a little web. It was like a Twitch stream before Twitch
For stream, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've always been doing it, but
But the
And
whole
also,
point being
Amber's the one that
you
gave me the
structure-
podcast. I like.
to do podcasting.
She got me. Like before everybody
And then you
and
didn't
their
ask us.
cousin
And then
had
I brought him into podcast world,
and he
and
didn't
then
ask
he
you.
just didn't ask
That's
us.
like messed
and,
up.
and so then he created the
but she
structure,
didn't
and then
say
he's like, let's
make a
just
podcast.
That's messed up.
let's remove people and add people back in. That was his thought process,
And he,
right?
he also asked me for like ideas like, oh, I'm thinking of having like different like, you know, co-host races and stuff like that. And
were
I'm
you like, were your eyes like shifting?
I'm
behind
like,
you?
oh, you could have two brown guys. No, I'm kidding. I went with the idea. I thought the idea
Yeah.
was really cool, but I felt like they weren't as into it as we were.
But now I
Well, it
feel
was
like
also
this
like a
is
schedule
different
and
than
all
what
that,
we were
yeah.
doing before. Like we were like for a long time we were like a guest first podcast.
Yeah.
And our exchanges were a rare occurrence. Like that wasn't the basis of it.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about the format. I think
Yeah.
we're thinking about changing it.
Yeah, well, I mean, straight up are changing it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it was a guest first podcast before, and now it's a co-host first podcast. Like, this is the dynamic, and this is what it'll be, and then we'll have guest co-host
Yeah.
come in and share thoughts. But we're not doing like interviews anymore.
This is what happened. You shared with me Serial, the podcast.
We're moving backwards.
no, because
we
because
moved
it,
on, bro.
No, because it gets to the format.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Sure.
So she shared with me Serial, and then I was like, wow, I never thought I'd listen to a podcast. And then I started exploring a few others, found some. I asked Amber for recommendations. She showed me some, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. And then after listening, I was like, I wonder how this applies to my world. And it was that kind of multicultural, like growing up in Bel Air of like, you know, it was just very rare to like come across people from different backgrounds. But when you did, it was like there was this whole story with it, and there was a lot of unique perspectives and all of that. And so the format I was thinking of was we come across strangers every day, and each of them have this unique flavor, and hence the name Strange Flavors. And so really I was kind of practicing. I was shooting I was figuring it out, and I didn't know what it was gonna be yet, but I wanted to like play with the idea. And the idea was not at all branding and all of that yet. It was like I genuinely want to interview people coming from a journalistic background. That's what I was doing in college too. And I was like, I genuinely want to know these stories. Before podcasting
Which
was
was
like
cool. And like Strange Flavors as a whole was
Yeah.
a really cool concept.
it became cooler. I think it became more cemented as you guys got involved. But then it was
But
like,
it kind of broke
But
your
that's
idea.
old news.
It broke your idea of like the co-hosts. Like we're all brown.
Mm-hmm.
So
no,
it's
no,
like
but
so-
that wasn't the point, because the point was like,
Bringing
guest,
others in.
But still, even then, we brought in like a lot of brown people.
yeah, because that's who we knew.
Yeah.
That's true.
And the
So
more,
like we
the
were
more
in strange
mutuals,
flavor.
we did make an effort to make it as balanced, but at the
But
same
we
time,
ruined, your format. We were like, we got.
I don't think so, because this is where I'm going with it. Like,
We ruined it.
like it was about the guests centered first, right? And then it was like those were the strangers. And then the more we started talking, having those strange exchanges, it was like we are talking about strange stories. We're talking about strange perspectives, and all of us definitely have unique perspectives. We disagree a lot, and just bring something different to the table every single time. So the format now with the name can still be like we are discussing
No.
topics.
All that for this.
All that just to say that you don't have a better idea
Damn.
why are you yelling at me?
yet. But I think once
We can get
mo-
there.
if we continue down this trajectory, right?
It's not that I didn't have a better idea. It's that AI didn't do its job.
ChatGPT.
Screw AI. Beef with AI.
Yeah.
The reason we're investing like into our own stuff now and starting from scratch basically is that I think that down the line, as we continue to do what we're doing, take care of our responsibilities in our lives, I've realized, and I think collectively we've realized that like this is something that whether it be this podcast, our music, cultural comedy group, or whatever else we do individually, like this component of us is not leaving. There's nothing we can do about it. Like I said, I create stuff that I enjoy creating regardless, but when we do it together, people can also enjoy it with us, and be a part of like the worlds that we build. And so down the line, I think if we are able to continue investing in ourselves, find a place, a space where we can truly build a sort of like production house and, have a new space, then with that, maybe a new name or
I'll
a new
paint the walls.
concept. Like these walls?
Yeah.
Amber.
He's going like deep in.
I know.
I'll paint the walls.
Sometimes he'd be going too deep and I gotta pull
deep.
him right back out. Sir, I'll paint the
Nuh-uh,
walls.
that's what we discussed.
No, I know, but I'm saying I'll paint the walls. Like we don't need to have like
Okay,
this,
okay,
like
let me-
for us, it's like we're gonna have like a new setup. It's gonna be like symbolic, new thing. No,
Yes.
we came back. It's a different format. A different place doesn't equate to a different format.
Let me ask a simple question then.
Ask.
No more deep stuff. Shamir,
Yes, sir.
if Amber painted the walls a different color, would that deserve a name change?
I think it could change the vibe.
You see how he doesn't say yes or no?
Yeah, but like
He's being nice to you.
I'm just
Ask me.
No, okay, so-
ask me the question.
elaborate.
So I don't think the wall color could change the name, but it will change the vibe.
The wall
which-
color has nothing to do with the name. That's what he's saying.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying the
Let me be
wall
his
color
anger
speci-
translator.
Listen, I'm not saying specifically just the wall colors.
what you
I'm
said.
just saying that we can change things up if we need to. We don't need a location to do that.
I
Listen,
think
we'll
I
get a-
think that would definitely symbolize.
Listen, friends. If you're listening and you made it this far, first of all, congrats. Second of all, send me a couple of names, right? And then just like shoot them to my DMs and
Couple
I'll
of
pretend
names.
them
Honestly, we'll
I'll
love to hear
present
the
them as
names.
my
I
own.
would love to hear
But
it.
I genuinely think all their names are gonna suck.
Also,
genuinely
part
think
two
that.
of this is that like
Damn.
I think so.
That's a challenge.
It's a challenge.
I disagree.
it's a good
I
challenge.
believe in them.
Part two of this is that like it's gonna be a huge branding effort.
Yeah,
Like-
that was my thing. I think I was like, I
Bro.
felt sorry for Frost for like
I'll hop
remaking
on Canva.
all the logos.
I'll just hop
You'll
on
do that.
I'll hop
She'll
on
do
Canva.
the walls. She'll hop on Canva. She'll do the logo. How about that?
Yeah.
I'm already throwing up a little bit, but again, challenge.
No,
like I would
here's the
love
thing.
to be challenged.
So
of that.
we were talking about the format of the podcast and how it ties with the name and stuff. But I was just saying we degraded like the format, right? It started off like multicultural co-host, multicultural guests, and I was like, wait, once we got on, we got like 80% of this is brown people. Like
You guys, no, but that's what you're missing. It's not about the color of your skin.
no,
It's the content of your character.
but it's all brown.
Also, wait,
it's all brown.
wait. Can I tell you guys something?
No.
I'm scared.
I don't like mint anymore.
Like mint chocolate?
Whoa.
Dude, this podcast is over. Yo, there's too much change, bro.
I was thinking about
This is too much change.
a little bit ago, and somebody got me like, I think it's the world that did this to me.
This is messed up.
Okay.
You know when
Stuck for Allah.
this is why I don't like sharing things, right?
I don't.
Because
It's like I don't know you anymore.
it's like
I feel like that was a large part of your identity.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know you.
All
anymore.
right.
It
It
was,
was.
dude. Your
You-
phone case was like freaking mint.
You had
You're
a
like,
mint ring that had an olive on it.
no, that wasn't because of art.
literally.
That was not
That
because
was your
I
color
like
on
mint.
the
You had a
podcast.
mint background. Like you were just like, oh, you made like logos. And you're like, yeah, if we had mint.
Oh, this color,
Your whole mic like
it was
cover was
it was
mint.
definitely
Dude.
stop undermining it.
Yeah, you
It
literally
was-
made a mint shirt. You're like, dude, if we had like chocolate chips on it,
It was an example.
dude, like
It
that's
was an
crazy.
example.
That's crazy.
The
I
point
think you
is,
need to acknowledge the severity.
the point is,
Dude, your
that-
name is Frosty. It's like Frost. No, it has nothing to do. Well, kind of mint, cool. Minty's kind of cool.
Sure.
I'm going somewhere, right?
Listen to me.
Dude, no.
Sometimes when you share that
Old
like you
Frost.
like something,
You stop liking it.
then people are like, "Oh, mint! He loves mint.
But
Get him
you
a mint
did.
cake.
No,
Get him a
you-
mint that. Get him a mint this." And it's like,
But
this
you
has,
like mint
let me,
chocolate.
Let me get to the point. This has a lot of sugar in it.
Yo, you're sounding
What's
like me
the
right
point?
now.
What's the
What you're sounding
Like-
like me right now.
Like mint, like real mint, like a mint lemonade, all that,
what's
like
going
with
on?
real mint leaves, it's good.
Uh-huh.
When you get like mint flavored things,
Artificial.
such as mint chocolate chip ice cream, whatever, it just tastes like sugar. Honestly, like I grew up. All right, that's what I'm trying to
So
say.
what's your
I
thing
used to
now?
get shit for this. I used to get shit for this.
And now you're the only one that will.
oh my gosh.
Mint, maybe.
Okay. Anytime I went to his house, I'd be like, yo, I'm not gonna eat that. It's like too much sugar. And then he would shove it in my face, like, dude, are you serious? Why are you not gonna eat it? Like, eat it.
Yeah, that's rude.
What? Not eating a lot of sugar,
Something
which you
that
are
I
claiming
offered
to
you.
now do.
It doesn't matter what. The
Why don't you
Rasulullah
offer me some nice
says,
things?
If something is offered to
Okay,
you,
hold on. So you stopped your
accept.
entire color that like
It's
you
not the
associate with your
color.
brand. No, it was a flavor, but it was also
But it was
a
like
color
it
too.
tied in. It was like mashed
You like
together.
the color, you
It was
like the flavor. It was like a full pack. Do you not like the color anymore?
no, the color's fine.
Is it your favorite color still?
It was never my favorite color.
That's messed up.
That's
That's
did
messed
you
up.
did you know that wasn't his favorite
It
color?
probably wasn't his favorite color, but he wore it everywhere.
That
No,
was
I
like
did
his
not wear it everywhere.
identifying.
You had it like on your socks were like freaking
Olive
that.
Theory.
Socks, I have different socks. Socks,
Your
I go
socks
colorful
were
with
your
socks.
phone case was that.
The color of Olive
Dude,
Theory
I was
the
just trying to
color of
promote
Olive
it.
Theory, dude. Like that's kind of wild.
All right, the color of Olive Theory was not inspired by mint.
It's kind of wild
chocolate
right
chip ice
now.
cream. This is okay. Sometimes when you have
My heart's
things,
broken.
sometimes
Like,
when you
feel-
have,
I relate.
I feel like I don't
I
know
might have
you.
to. I might have to
Uh-huh.
revisit it.
I think
Ask me in like a year or something. But I had too much of it, and then I was like, you know what? I don't like it right now.
it's like I don't know you anymore.
What's
and
your
like
favorite
like
color?
right now, if I'm thinking about it, I'm not thinking about like I don't want it.
You don't want.
I don't
Why?
want it.
What do you want?
Like right now,
Yeah.
I want Rugo.
Rugo.
Rugo cans.
What's Rugo?
Speaking of Rugo, we have two Rugos right here. We have Ruafza in a can. Let's go.
We got Ruafza in a can, baby.
We got Ruafza in a can. What is this? Ruafza in a can. Carbonated water-based Ruafza drink.
Remember one time, a long time ago, we made a song. It was
It's
called
carbonated?
Ru.
Yeah. We made a song called Ru.
Can I read?
We made a song called Ru, and one of our fans, his name is Azim. He's from Dubai. He was a big fan of that song Ru specifically. He was like, "Yo, this fire slaps," and he has long hair like me, and now Shamir.
And I mean,
Did you try this already?
I did. I tried a sip. What?
Fake.
That's kind of messed up.
I brought it for
It's
you
like I
guys.
don't know you anymore, bro.
It's like
That's-
I feel like you should have saved this experience of the podcast.
I
Like,
wanted
it's
to,
like-
but my brother Dawar, he
Oh, yeah,
opened
blame
the
it on
can
your
up right
brother.
away.
yeah,
blame it on your
the
brother.
little brother.
He forced me, and I had to accept because I'm
Blame
not
it on me,
rude
bro.
like you, Shamir.
Rude.
How am I rude? You're the one who's rude. You betrayed mint chocolate.
What did you call me? A bit what?
Betrayer.
Betrayer. You're a hypocrite. That's messed up.
You're a hippo.
Crit. Don't forget.
No, not without
No?
the crit.
Okay. I'll take that.
And you're a hippo.
Why? Now I'm gonna cry.
That's messed up. But
You
yeah,
just call me fat?
you're a mint betrayer.
Are hippos fat?
Yes.
Then yeah, I called you fat.
Damn. They also have the strongest bite, so you got a strong bite.
My teeth are kind of not amazing.
Damn.
Chunky. I like them big.
So, anyways,
I like
Frost
'em chunky.
drank this without us.
No. Anyways, Azim got these
Oh.
for us.
Oh,
He
oh,
shipped
right.
me a
Shout out
box.
Azim, and not
I
shout
thought
out
we were
Frost.
supposed to meet him.
Shout out Azim from Dubai.
Not
well,
shout
he
out
came
Frost.
and then he said, "Bro, my pet got crab," which means his stomach. As soon as he came to the States, which is the opposite effect that we have.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
we go to Pakistan or another country, like sometimes you get that food poisoning. He got it when he got here, and they were moving to the States. So unfortunately, we missed him on the drive because he got pit crab.
How'd you get these?
He shipped them.
That's
He was so
kind.
kind. He shipped me sweets and these Rufsa cans, and I wanted you guys to try them live so that we have some nice experience together.
All right. First of all, Ruafza with water or milk?
In Ramzan with milk.
Okay.
Outside of Ramzan, no.
No, straight up.
Yeah,
there's
just
no rules.
There's no reason. It's like it's our eggnog. You know
Yeah,
how like people
yeah.
drink eggnog during Christmas? Ruafsa is our eggnog.
And
Yeah.
some people don't like eggnog.
But in Christmas, it's like, how can you not have eggnog?
I am people.
Yo, Ruafsa eggnog.
Water or milk?
I don't
You just don't mess with Ruafza like that.
want to say that loud in case we ever get a sponsorship
Damn.
opportunity.
Stop
what
shaking
the
it. It's
heck?
gonna
I'm
bust
sorry.
on you.
Whoa.
Hey, yo.
Faraz. Oh my God.
All right. Anyways,
are
this is
disgusting.
nasty.
You
isn't
made
it?
a face.
Guys, we had a fake Patreon test before this, and it just turned out dirty. So we're gonna avoid
Yes.
this. Okay.
Avoid it.
So yeah, we have a carbonated water-based Ruafza drink. So this is water-based.
Mm-hmm.
Amber doesn't like water or milk.
Oh, right. In Ruafza.
In Ruafza.
I think
or
you'll like
Ruafza
it. I
in-
tried it. I think you'll like it.
Can you open this?
I like water-based too. Like when people say milk or water, they kind of make it sound like it's one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
I like both, but I think milk is better.
Why don't you
All right,
try it
so we're
first?
opening it.
Because
No, I already tried it.
no, but try it for the sake of the podcast, and then I'll take.
No,
a second.
you take it.
I'm-
I'll take a
I'm
second.
trying with
sip.
somebody who
No, I
doesn't
don't
like
want
Ruafza.
I don't want you to sub kiss me.
Frost, just
You,
drink it.
no,
If
You're-
I put my lips on
you-
this and then
you
you,
would.
I know what you're trying to do.
Don't put your lips on it.
I know what you're trying
don't
to do.
Don't put your lips on it. There's less likely of you drinking this after I
Astaghfirullah.
drink it.
This is what
as
the
opposed-
podcast has turned into.
Yeah,
We become less halal here. Sharing freaking Ruafza here.
I
That's
just know
messed
that
up,
he's
Amber.
not going to drink it after I
You know
drink
he's
it.
a non-married male.
Oh, what does that mean?
I don't know. All right.
the temptations of the devil.
Yeah. Okay.
You're not even having it. Why are you waiting for her?
Yo, it kind of tastes like bacola in a way.
This
Like,
kind of
very
Oh, really?
weirdly.
the best roughs I've had.
Can you do it in the mic a little bit more so people can get the fizzy effect? Yeah. With the,
I think Ruafza, all it needed all along was carbonation.
it's good, right?
It's really good.
And it's a good blend. A lot of times, like people don't know how much the ratio should be syrup to water, syrup to milk. But
I'm telling you though, it kind of tastes like bacola. Like
I've never had
Very
Bacola.
much.
I don't think I've had Bacola either.
it like, it might be the sugar. I think it just like there's so much sugar in that too.
But
Yeah.
like what is it, like the rose water that makes it like specifically Ruafza like different?
Yeah, I think so.
If this had less sugar, not like in a health wise, but in a taste wise, it'd be fire. Just like a rose flavored.
You're asking for too
Carbonated
much.
drink.
But Ruafza is like super sugary in itself.
I know, but it could be like that. You know how like sparkling, like Ruafza sparkling water would be fire
Mm,
because it's like a Ruafza soda, right?
yeah,
Next, we need Ruafza sparkling water.
it's really good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you, Azim.
Thank you, Azim, and not thank you for us for not trying it with us. It's kind of messed up.
I'm trying to give
I
it
could
to
have
him.
I could have kept 4 cans at home. Okay.
Like you didn't even think like, hey, let me share this like universal experience.
Yeah.
You see,
Like,
you see this bag right here? What does it say?
What does that say?
It says Frosty wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
that's
literally
me.
says Frosty
That's
wrong.
me. Okay.
He like really
All
liked the
4 cans were
snowman.
for me.
All 4 cans were for you.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
4
so you
cans?
decided to share with us.
I decided to share it with you, and this is the kind of
This is like
BS I get.
showing us like a movie you've already seen, but it's like still not hype. It's like, all right, come on, like I want to experience this together. So rather not give it to me at all, or you just drink all of it. And it's not even for us.
He
feel
spelled
worse.
Frosty like the snowman.
Yeah. I even feel worse now that this wasn't even for us. Sorry, Azim.
I'm pissed why you didn't.
Sorry, dude. Sorry, I drank your freaking.
Well, let me
boys
break
Loves
it to you. The bad news, real quick. Most of the things I share with you guys are not for you. I'm just a sharer.
I've known that.
Okay.
We've known that.
I mean, if you're such a sharer, then why do you always let us know that it wasn't for us?
Well,
Damn.
I never do. But I had to let you know today because you are ungrateful hippos. Hungry, hungry hippos. They were named after you guys because all you do is crave attention, you whore hippos.
Whore hippos. Whore hippos. All right. Oh my gosh.
Let's like end this.
Yeah.
We're back, baby.
We're back. But life is good for you guys. Like
No, I had like 2 mental breakdowns for this exact reason last week.
oh really?
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
like,
I showed
podcast?
Shamir the picture that you sent me
oh yeah, that was intense.
of you crying and having 2 huge beads of tears.
Yeah.
So you're not good. Update. You're not good.
Update, not good.
No,
or
I'm,
like
I'm
overall
better
you're good.
now.
You just need to like release.
It was the season.
No,
The change
no,
of the
not yet,
season.
not yet. No, it was more so
Not
because
yet.
I don't like working that job. I mean, like I like my job.
Yeah.
It's like the best that I
Mhm.
could get in a situation. But like I always felt like this is where I should be. And now I will feel fulfilled in some aspect by having this podcast. So, I mean, that doesn't mean I'm going to cry less. I'm definitely going to keep crying. But I won't cry for that same reason.
Nice. And then you're
Crying
good.
is good for you.
Yeah,
I know.
crying's good.
Feel so
I
good.
looked
good.
it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Why did you always make fun of me for crying all the time then?
Well, excessive crying is not good.
Well, it's good for me.
Yeah, I'm in a similar spot actually. Not the
The crying, the mental breakdown.
No, I've been in this spot like a lot of times throughout my life where it's like I'm whether it be with school, work, whatever. I've worked a lot of different jobs, like a lot. And although like the people I've worked with, the job that I've done there, it's all been fulfilling, it's all been great. I think that for me, when it comes to satisfaction from something, once I kind of like figure out how the thing works, the system, whatever else, it's like I quickly find myself at a ceiling, and it's that feeling of like I need to get out of here.
Yeah.
And creativity and art is always a great example of like there's always so much problem solving, and the way that I guess like tackle art in the first place is that like there is this thing that I want to create and there's a way to do it. And then like it's actually a very kind of chaotic experience of like trying to get to that thing. Like it's real like equations, you know what I mean? Like there's a real kind of a process that you have to go through, and then once you get there of like I did it, I created the thing that I had in my head. Oh my god. And that doesn't happen just once. It happens every single time. And so when I am able to do that on the side, like that is what fuels me to keep going and being like, okay, I've reached this place and I can't wait to move on to the next thing and the next thing until I can do this. Like, and people like, I think that's maybe my another kind of like beef with it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I'm just, my ADHD is really making me disassociate.
Okay.
That means it's boring. Like when someone says my ADHD, that means it's boring.
No,
Right?
it's not boring.
It has to be.
Frost is so
'Cause-
insightful, but sometimes I'm like 30 seconds shorter.
No, because I hear that like ADHD, right? You're just trying to get the amount of like dopamine or like whatever
Mhm.
from things, and it's
Yeah.
just not giving you enough dopamine.
Yeah.
So it genuinely means like it's boring. But anyways, I found it really good.
Yeah, it was
Interesting. So keep
cool.
going. Keep going. No,
Keep
keep
going.
going.
No,
I don't even know what I was saying.
each room has a glass ceiling, and then you reach it, and then you're like, okay.
You
And
kind of
then-
did ruin the flow.
Glass ceilings are for women.
Lemon.
Just kidding.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to mess up the flow.
Well, he kind of ruined it himself. He's like, he noticed you.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Well,
you didn't even say
I was
anything.
giving him a blank ass stare.
Okay, imagine you're talking to somebody and the whole time they're like, like blinking really fast and turning their heads and being like.
To be fair, I really did do that.
And I think she's like, I can see her lips saying like, shut the. Oh, like I can hear that in the mic a little bit too. So I'm like, well,
I zoned out too a little bit, but like I got back in. I was like, I like come back in. That's all. Like
fine.
You were really good at like tying the whole thing together. So that's why like when I zone out,
I'll just continue to make sarcastic remarks and.
You serve your real purpose.
Yeah.
No,
Just
keep going. Do it.
Be an attention.
Where were
Be
we?
an
Now
entertainment.
you have to finish it.
Yeah.
Like we kind of.
You don't have to.
It's done. It's done. Okay.
What was the resolution?
Okay. Let me try to shorten it and just say the end of it was that all of that. I have to do what I have to do.
Yeah.
So that I can do what I want to do.
Is
that good?
Does that work
for you?
Does
that make sense?
Fire.
Does that make sense
That
to
was
you?
good.
Yeah, I like that.
Is that entertaining enough?
It
Yeah.
was consumable enough, digestible.
Okay.
All right.
I'm just representing the ADHD
Yeah.
listeners
All
of
the
them all.
I'm just representing the ADHD community. I'm just representing the autistic community. I'm just representing
for us.
the HIV community. I'm just representing what other communities you want to represent? Let's have them all represented.
How about-
Wait, is Amber representing all these committees?
Yeah, I'm literally.
She might be.
Okay.
Whoa.
I've never asked. Do you want to talk about
I
it?
mean, there's
Yeah.
not.
Do you have autism?
I do not.
Okay. Nice.
Why are you laughing at it?
Yeah.
No, I'm laughing.
What is wrong with you?
Shamir's response.
Canceled.
Oh wait, I said
First
nice.
of all, you're the one.
Canceled.
I said
Exactly.
nice
You
that
said
she
nice.
didn't have autism.
Exactly. I'm trying to save you.
Damn.
And
being
I would
canceled.
and I would argue that she does.
No, but autism, it's nice to have it too. Like you're really good at one thing. So
Well, I'm definitely good at a lot of things and not really good at anything.
damn.
Name 2. 3, 2.
What
one.
nails, makeup?
No.
Nails and makeup?
Yeah.
Alright, wait, let's see the nails.
Trash.
Trash.
I mean,
Let's see the makeup?
I do really nice
Trash.
things.
Just kidding. Whatever.
yeah. I mean, I hope everyone enjoyed listening to this.
Also, we may on this podcast, like we're trying to do a Patreon.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so it'll be linked if it's linked.
Ayo.
And yeah, keep tuning in, write to us, let us know what you want us to talk about.
Yeah. And like any business people want to just give us some tips too. I'm obviously learned past 2 years of what we can possibly do and brought some ideas. So,
And feedback. What do you
Yeah.
want to hear?
because, we
We're
can't
ever
just,
changing.
we got to make this podcast a little profitable. So,
If you're
We'll
a
find ways.
producer in the Baltimore area,
yeah.
hit us up.
Because we're great at like making art. That's not a question. I think monetizing and scaling it.
We'll
is-
make the art. Just find a way for us to get paid.
Yeah.
Video makers, photographers, whatever like that you think you can help out. Audio production people, hit us up.
Tips.
If you're in the Baltimore
if you're in
area,
it in the
DMV
area. If not, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
But
we say
we're-
the thing?
We're back.
We're back.
Do we say the
we're-
thing to end it? Do you remember?
You want to change the podcast name?
I
I don't know why you
do.
brought that up.
Okay.
For old time's sake.
For old time's sake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who started it?
Who farted?
No.
What?
You farted?
You hear what you want to hear.
I said who started it?
I don't. It's been
Bro has headphones and like it's not loud.
I know what you said. I just wanted to make her self-conscious because I did smell it. It's been
Smell
another
what?
week.
Another flavor?
It was another flavor that I did smell another flavor. I tasted it too.
I said another flavor. I think
What
I
do you
said
say?
another flavor.
Okay, go ahead.
Another flavor.
A little less stranger.
We'll talk to you next time.
Peace.
This new season doesn't come with poop jokes.